Hey guys, thought I would go ahead and give you kind of an update on the 2016 Camaro twin turbo build that's been going on for the past few months, and kind of show you where we're at on the progress and how much further we still have to go. So let me go ahead and give you guys a walk around of it. All right, so today we're test fitting the front bumper just to make sure we have enough clearance for the intercooler, and also to make sure that we can get the factory radiators that go behind the bumper underneath the driver headlight and the passenger headlight. And these are like right here. Being that it's still a twin turbo setup, we're not wanting to eliminate that. So trying to get that to still fit is a little bit of a challenge, but I think we'll be able to make it work. We got the BTR intake manifold put on. It's just temp installed at the moment, just so we can get the charge piping all made. We went from a 4-inch using our donuts and then transitioned down to a 3-inch. Now, it would have been nice if we could have just made this all 4-inch, but unfortunately, once the headlight is here, there's just no clearance in between the radiator and the headlight to run a 4-inch pipe in between there, even with our intercooler mount that we made for the core support. This is still getting trimmed up, so don't worry about that. It's not going to stay like that. But this is the intercooler. Let's see if you can see it. We got clearance all in between the bumper and the intercooler. The bumper actually didn't have to get trimmed at all, which was pretty awesome. And this intercooler is rated for 1,300 horsepower, so it should be plenty. Right now we're working on doing the cast elbow off the compressor housing, and it's going to come down to the charge piping there, which then goes into the intercooler. The fuse block, we finally got the mounting brackets made for this. I think I'm going to switch these out, these kind of bolts, and just run an Allen head bolt for a cleaner look. But factory, the fuse block is mounted in this area, but since we're doing a twin turbo setup, it's not going to work. And without actually cutting up the harness and doing a lot of wiring, we were able to just basically make it where it'll mount here and it mounts back here using one of these brackets that we made. Is what we did is we pulled the block apart and then drilled and inserted some riv nuts into the plastic at the bottom of the fuse block where there's no wiring or anything down there, and then that way you can go ahead and just bolt the bracket straight on. A few things we still have left to do is, obviously the wiring is not going to run like this because that's where the exhaust, but there is 2 coolant hoses that run here. They run from the water pump to the heater core, and they are actually on the manifold. So as what we're going to do is we are going to make new stainless hard lines that are going to run down and along the frame rail. So they're going to run up underneath the manifolds and then back up to the firewall, which is going to give us a lot more clearance, and we don't have to worry about any rubber melting. Other than that, the next big hurdle is going to be the coolant expansion tank. So factory, there's one here, and it's a really big tank. You can see it right there. The original plan was to mount it over here, but where we put the wastegate and the big intake pipe, we're just kind of running out of real estate. So I'm thinking we're going to build something that's going to kind of go in this area. I'm not 100% sure. I may change that up, and maybe we'll make a combo tank with the windshield washer over here, maybe do something back there, or if we have to, run it over here. But I'd really like to keep it on this side somewhere. And then we still have to mount the ECU, which is still going down here. But yeah, so that kind of gives you guys an update on what's going on. It's a lot of tedious stuff trying to put 10 pounds of stuff in a small engine bay. So it's coming together. It's just it's a lot of work, and Sean's been awesome and been super patient. So here's the manifold that we made, just a log style, and then we're going to run the exhaust back and down up underneath the firewall and then out the rear. So yeah, hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have a lot more progress on this, and then we'll update you guys and keep you in the loop. And here it is with the bumper off. you can see the custom core support plate that we made. And so basically is what it is factory. There's a factory brace that goes in right in this area. You can kind of see it here on the passenger side right here. And it's a core support brace. But the problem is when you have the headlight in there, there's no room to run a 3-inch pipe in between the headlight and this brace there. As you can see, there's just, you know, once your headlight is in right here, this is in the way. And so what I've seen other builds and other kits do is they just run a silicone coupler through there and then smash it down in between the headlight and the radiator. And I didn't like that. So basically is what I did is just go in here and cut out that factory piece. But I didn't want to leave it to where, this isn't as rigid as it needs to be on the core support. And so basically is what I did is just drew this up in CAD and then drilled and inserted some rib nuts inside the core support here, and on the frame rail here. And then just dimple dyed it to add some rigidity to it. It's really easy and it gives a clean look, I feel. So I thought I had some video of the manifolds that I designed for the Camaro, but I guess I didn't, so I'll just do a little slideshow for you guys. So we started out with some billet mild steel flanges. I typically like to use mild steel instead of stainless steel for the flanges, as the warpage is minimal compared to using a stainless flange. It tends to warp pretty bad, even bolted to a 1-inch thick aluminum plate. And then the primaries are 1.5 inches that transition into a 2.5 inch and then straight out to the V-bands. The materials used was all from Ace Race Parts. We use their 304 stainless steel on 99% of any of the stainless work that we do here. All right, guys, that wraps up today's video. If you guys want to see some more of the Camaro build, or maybe of any of the other builds that we got going on in the shop, feel free to comment below and let me know. I'll upload as much as I can. It's pretty busy here being a one-man show, but I'll try to do the best that I can. So if you guys got any questions or anything, just feel free to drop a comment below or send us a message or an email. All right, guys, take care.